There is a line that says, I will fail and fail again until I succeed. So, you ready, everybody? I will fail and fail again until I succeed. All right, now go on, Josh.
Which I think is just a reminder to all founders, you don't have to be like anybody else. So don't try to be like another founder that is of the moment, because that's not the thing. Once you're successful, you'll be the founder of the moment, and it's amazing how history writes itself on that one. Both of the Marks went through
Series A customer, and then preempted our Series B, and that was how we met. I had Jared.
Want to do like run a sofa or something? Those are awkward configurations and hard to do a pitch thing.
And that's what we're changing. We're building the bricks for Africa and are doing it
organically through referrals and word of mouth. So our growth has been very capital efficient so far. We're currently raising $2.5 million to turn up to hit the marketing and reach 500 key users within the next 12 months. Thank you.
Which is about a unicorn a year. It's an incredible track record.
Failure is a part of life. Every being on this planet eventually is returned and reabsorbed into the earth. And Silicon Valley is no different. You know, every single failure ends up fertilizing the next idea, the next company with your talent and your example of what maybe not to do. But that doesn't change that it can feel absolutely.
Because like they come with this mentality of like really wanting to build something and get started and get their hands dirty. And so, people who have tried.
I mentioned that, Kevin, because when my daughter's school embraced some of the use of generative models, they actually introduced a on-rails content moderated LLM that was school specific, just so that you can handle some of the challenges of working in the open world.
We just think one of you should be CEO and the other should go do something else. Yeah, co-CEOs is very quickly, one of those CEOs is leaving.
Good morning, everyone.
Great to be here.
It's in your vested interest to make sure you have time to grow into your valuation. And if I still
Just explain why. Like, what are the like?
So if we raise
building what people are experimenting on, and it's going to look so different 6 months from now.
Right. So I think of it depending on how far along you are in the company.
And this only happens every decade or so, right? The prior technology shifts were basically the microcomputer. And so some workflow, often a white-collar workflow.
The proportionality for certain things. Other things are much harder. Like, what's the value of an Android or Google?
It's one of my favorite videos because I answered that question in that video. Very early, I decided that most people I knew were driven by what others expected of them. That means you get a better car because you want to impress your neighbors.
In 1997, went to school, I was a PhD student, dropped out, worked for 10 years for other companies. In 2009, started a company, took it public 7 years later.
The story of the company. They were always a supporting cast member and customer. Sometimes not so supportive. So how do we get people to bring the investor status down?
Or Verizon of the world wanted, or say they wanted, they lead it and they'll adapt it. And became, on a $3 or $4 million investment, about, I think, a $7 billion return for climate. It was a 2,500x, and I remember that because the Wall Street Journal, when Pinterest went public, did a story on the large things to happen to the planet. I think will be the two things that feel like the worst things that happen to the planet. One, Ukraine has made sure the world makes an energy transition and a climate transition. It will feel like the pivotal event, as horrible as it is today, that caused a transition to happen to a much better, more sustainable society. The second thing that feels horrible today, which is COVID, will feel like the thing that had us not risk a single supply chain from China, and huge economic opportunity to reinvent the supply chain, reinvent material sourcing, reinvent cement and steel. Line workers, no customer support agents, and I think that's so much opportunity for all of you and put humanity in a place where nobody has to work to earn a living. It's very, very feasible, very, very likely. Thank you all.